all these other games. I haven't really started this one. There was I have a list. There was Ninja Love Plus, which I never played, and then My Fairy Tales, which I don't exactly know about, and there's another Shall We Date, Angel and Devil, which I don't really know about. The Shall We Date has its own little thing. I think it's kind of the same kind of deals that of what I was doing before, but it's kind of different. There's the Fairy Tale, which I didn't get into that well. Angel or Devil and Magic Sword, Hero in Love, and Can't Say No. And those are kind of, I guess, imagine the whole same thing as what I'm doing, but kind of a different storyline. And lastly, yeah, there's a app called Class Trip or something like that. And the story goes like you're in a all-girls school and you're going on a field trip with another all-boys school, and then I guess sexy results from there, I suppose. Most of these, except for Destiny Ninja and My Sweet Friends, I haven't. They ask you to spend money, and I'm trying not to, because I don't want to spend money. This is one called Kiss of Revenge, and it's such an interesting story. Your mom dies because of a medical mistake in the past, and in a weird way, it's like you become a doctor, supposedly to seek revenge because you go back to that hospital where there was medical malpractice, and then shit hits the fan, I suppose. I don't. Um, it's theme music. Um, you have your whole like job to do as a doctor, but there's also I think it's this guy. That's the son of like the owner of the hospital. But you can also pick any of these guys, and I suppose a romance follows that. But that's an interesting point too. They tell you everything. Yosei Suzaki. He is 36. He's a surgeon as an occupation. He is 5'11", and his blood type is A. And usually with every single character you come across in this whole like romantic thing, romantic storyline, they give you all this information. I have one more game for you. It's called Bedtime Sweetheart. Those are like 3 characters, and you pick a character basically. But let's keep it nice and innocent. They're cool and famous voice actors, and basically, like, I suppose if you're like lonely and you're sleeping alone, you have these guys who are sleeping next to you. And of course, it's kind of like the same thing with Alva, where they're just sleeping next to you. It's not like sexual, but of course, you can always imply that, and I'm sure some people do.
朝からじゃれるなよ。眠いって。朝からじゃれるなよ。眠いって。
You can look at everything. And I know it's probably going to be asked, if you touch his crotch, of course, like, that's going to be the interesting part of it. He says, like, he acts like you touch his stomach, because they're really, like, in a weird way, PhD, but not really. And he acts like you punched him. If you touch his script, he's doing a adult film, so, like, it's... I mean, I don't even want to get into what he's saying, because I feel like I feel so ruined knowing some of the things that these people say. Like, a lot of these games, it's like I can play it, and I'm so glad because nobody in my family, except for my brother a little bit, speaks Japanese, so I'm like, good, they don't know what he's saying, because they're saying interesting things, and if you're not into iPhone games, because there's no actual human contact, I introduce you to host clubs. And I've actually looked this up for nearby. Host clubs are mainly Japanese. Most of the things I've mentioned so far are focused on Japanese culture, but host clubs, basically, you meet with these guys, you have dinner, and you just hang out. You can imply so much from what I'm saying, but it's really innocent. It's like you just go and you eat dinner with them, and they make you feel adored, or however you want, kind of deal. Um, and of course, being like such a romantic addict like myself, I would love to go to a host club. I have to go to Japan first, but I would love to go to a host club. That's real life people. I mean, I'm sure they feign the whole thing, but it's an option if you want something more than a screen that you're looking at, like actual human contact with people you talk to, and that's one way you can buy into the whole love ideal. And for iPhone games, for example, you can you're actually paying money to do these things. Like there are checkpoints along the way, kind of deal. You have to pay money to do this. Love is money. But say you don't want to ever go to Japan or wherever these host clubs are, you can sit at your nice little computer right in front of you, and I introduced you to rentaboyfriend.com. And it's kind of the same idea where you're just going online and find people that are going to pretend to be your boyfriend. Say, I would love to have a renter boyfriend just because, like, they look at your family looks at you sometimes and you're like, you still don't have a boyfriend, what's wrong with you, kind of deal. So these guys come in and they help you out and they pretend to be your boyfriend for a little bit. And by the way, I own those rights of the whole, like, you rent a boyfriend and then you guys fall in love, and that's my romantic movie. I have it made like in 2015. Um, but that's if you want. It's still kind of like fake in that you just find this guy online and he pretends to be your boyfriend for your family functions and whatnot. If you need a date somewhere, they do that stuff too. Um, I haven't I haven't actively like done anything on Rent a Boyfriend, but I have read about it, and that's kind of what you do. And there's so many ways to fake the romantic feelings of love. I know that Valentine's Day really gets off on that. They're always talking about love, and they're selling you stuff that you don't need. They're telling you to do stuff you don't need to do. And Valentine's Day is an elective holiday, certainly. You don't have to celebrate it. It should be Valentine's Day every day. You tell each other you love each other and whatnot. But it's kind of weird that you made a whole commodity out of love just out of the holiday. You can buy an effing code that's all like, oh, I love you, whatever. It's interesting in the very least. I still remember going to class in like elementary school, and you had to like buy everybody a Valentine's code, and maybe some chocolates, and it's awesome, and that's what they do. And that's what you do. But honestly, it's kind of sad because I'm just thinking about like the commodity. It's like this, and this. It's so superficial, and then I think about what love really is, and I want to make its own little video. There's basically three types of love. There's eros love, which is the whole like boyfriend, I love you kind of stuff, and sexual feelings and whatnot. There's familial love, so like fraternity, like, whoa, I love you, man. You love your family. And there's fraternal love, just love for your fellow man, like I love the universe kind of deal. That's kind of like love as a different forms of love. But if you think about, I'm like, if you think about the eros kind of love, say, um, if you ever have been in love, which I do suggest everybody should be in love at least once, because it's the most pain you'll ever feel. I mean, so it's like it's the best feeling ever. But at the same time, if it doesn't work out, it's like the worst feeling in the world. You should at least experience that once. If you think about that feeling, it's it's so much more than a Hallmark code. It's so much more than chocolates. There's the superficial love, and then there's true, real, like actual love, and they just don't connect. They don't match up at all, and oh my gosh. And the fact that we're celebrating it and making people do things and make it into a commodity, I guess it's okay. But it's not the same thing as true love. And as awesome and as painful as it is, like real, true fucking love, it shouldn't be a commodity. It just shouldn't. And that's just how I feel on the commodification of love. And I'm almost gonna lose my mind right now because, like, oh. So I just can't. Just if you think about true love, if you've ever been in love, if you think about that feeling, it's not the same thing as all this shit that goes on in Valentine's Day and in culture and society today. It's just not the same thing. It's nice that they're trying because I think maybe everybody should feel loving feelings, but it's not the same thing. Apples and oranges. Also, I want to do a last minute thing like just right here. You notice, well, a couple things if you have paid attention to me, that on videos I don't have the random awesome video much anymore mostly because I just don't like annotations, they bug me, and also because I guess I just feel out of love with random awesome video. I think it was about a month ago, I read like 2 books. One was called Looking for Alaska, certainly, by John Green, and the main character in it is totally like focused or knows like all about that famous last words of people who died, the last words before they die. And then I read a book called Hope a Tragedy. Fucking sad story, by the way. And he was focused on quotations too. And I remember knowing, like, all these quotations and sayings and stuff. And I know them and I want to remember them, but I they just slip out of my head. So I got this book for Christmas. Thanks, Mom. Got it from Dollarama. Um, and I just started writing quotations and sayings of people, and I wanted to maybe begin or end each video with picking one out because I. And these are just quotes that I really, really like or whatnot, or they're inspiring. So let's pick out a good one just to end this video. And of course, it's all gonna be random because randomness is awesome. Oh, actually, sorry. This is just awesome fate, I suppose. Because the quote I came across, legit, this is completely random and it's perfect, and I'm gonna cry. Oh, okay. Make sure you fall in love with someone who deserves your heart, not someone who's going to play with it. David Roberts. I'll put an annotation for David Roberts. Oh my gosh. Oh, that was so perfect and so sad. But yeah, it's true. Someone who deserves it, not someone who's gonna play with it. And yeah, I think that's how I'm gonna end videos from now on. I'm gonna post another video. I'm focusing for this month at least on like love and stuff. I know my next video is gonna be an interesting one, and I'm nervous about doing it, but it's gonna be awesome. I hope you liked the video. Love X Lyrics. Bye.